how you can optimize your retirement portfolio. Part 4. Yes, indeed. Part 4. Now we're going to start getting into the strategies of this scenario. So last 3 episodes, we talked about kind of the research, the academics. Now we're going to start showing you some strategies. I'm going to show you a product specifically, which would, in my opinion, serve as a benchmark for an optimization strategy portfolio. Then we're going to go down on the whiteboard and start drawing it out so you can kind of get a visual as well. Now, a couple of things. This is not a product recommendation. In fact, I'm going to share with you explicitly, you probably can't even buy this product. But there might be a similar product to this out there in the open market for you to find out if you can. And I don't care about this product so much as I care about the mechanism, how it can be used. And that's such a wonderful way to use this product for sure. Now, it's through USAA. All right, so USAA is the United Services Automobile Association. It's been founded in 1926 by a bunch of officers who could not get auto insurance because they're PCSing, permanent change of stations, all over the place. And so no insurance company wanted to basically track them down if they didn't pay their premium. So they said, we're not going to do it. So they created their own insurance called self-insurance. And that's what USAA is. Now, you have to be a veteran with an honorable discharge, actively serving, or a family member of an honorably discharged veteran who's also a USA member. You can't just say, hey, my dad died. He's a Korean War vet. I want to be USAA. It can't work like that. Your dad had to have been a member of USA before he died for you to become a member. So it's somewhat exclusive, if you will. It's not that exclusive, but for some of the products you can't buy if you're not that affinity group. But there's a million insurance companies out there. So the products that USA have, and the reason I'm showing is because I know it like the back of my hand. I imagine you can find products like this with non-exclusive insurance companies, but just with the one at USA, I want to share it with you because this is, I think, just a fundamental approach to retirement planning in terms of optimizing your portfolio. So as always, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and comments as well. So let's dive right into this, my friends. Let's turn this guy off. All right, so we're going to go to USA.com. And they're going to celebrate because Veterans Day is coming up. So they're going to celebrate the folks who, men and women who served. And so that's great. So, but what I want to do is go to products here, and then we're going to go to investing annuities. All right. So we're going to go to annuities. Oh my goodness, annuities, Josh. You can't be like that. If you take a you don't want to be so open-minded that your brains fall out. I think Einstein said that. I've always loved that saying. But you can't be closed-minded to the idea that there might be a better product that could suit you. I don't know if this is going to suit. I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. I'm going to give you my strategy, and you can take it for what you want. And you can say, I don't like that product, so I'll try something else. I don't care. But don't be so closed-minded that when you hear the word annuity that you run for the hills. I can't tell you how many people have done that. I'll never forget. I had a guy at USA. I said, hey, we're talking about ways to, I can't remember what it was, but I said, you ever thought about just getting a deferred annuity? He goes, he got all mad. I don't want annuities. You're selling me annuities. I said, dude, just relax. I said, pipe down, Piper. Let me explain how this works. But anyway, long story short, he said, I don't want to talk about news. I said, okay. So you want a CD instead? I don't want news. I said, okay. So anyway, we're going to go to USA.com. We're going to hit deferred annuities. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about. I got to make this bigger. Boink and a boink. There we go. All right. So I'm going to talk about the flexible retirement annuity. This is not a product recommendation. I cannot state that explicitly enough. I want to talk about the flexible retirement annuity. And because I know American Express had, I guess it's Ameriprise now, and I don't know if they still do it in a product just like this. I know Mass Mutual had, and I don't know if they still do a product just like this as well. So look at your own insurance company. But I'm telling you, the mechanism of this is just wonderful. And you can also use this in mutual funds too, but it's not quite the same. But I'll share with you why you can still do it. All right. So a flexible retirement annuity. So let me just tell you what this is. This is a deferred annuity. Remember when I was talking about yesterday about how buying a deferred annuity now makes sense because you're locking in today's mortality tables for a use of an income stream maybe 15, 20, 30 years down the road. And so a flexible retirement annuity is great in that regard because you can add more money to it. So let's just go into it. So basically what we have here is a frame, we used to call them. We have a 1.5% guaranteed minimum. All right. So we can see the current rates right here. And we'll go into that in just a second. How long are the current interest rates guaranteed? They can change monthly. And you can take 10% a year out after the first year without getting a penalty. Now, with any annuity, well, most annuities, if you take it out before a certain amount of time, the surrender charge, you're going to get hit with a surrender charge. So in this case, if you put $100,000 in and you take $20,000 out The first $10,000 will be free and clear of surrender charge, but the next $10,000 will be subject to surrender charge. And I don't even care about that. I'll leave you to decide how that works. But all right, so let's go into this now. I want to learn more. So this, I'm telling you, I don't care about the name of the product specifically, the surrender charge, even the interest rate so much. I do care about how this can work. All right, so we're going to say flexible retirement annuity for you. And again, they call it flexible retirement annuity. Other firms call it something different. Again, I don't care about the product specifically. I care about the structure, the mechanism, how this works. If you're looking for a guaranteed income in retirement or want to help protect your retirement savings, our flexible retirement annuity may be right for you. The FRAN allows you to put money away as often as you like while you're saving for retirement. And that's the critical thing. You can add, this is a deferred annuity that you can add to later on down the road. I'm going to share with you why that's so important. Then again, we'll draw it on the whiteboard down below. The money will grow daily, and when you're ready to retire, you'll have the option to receive guaranteed monthly payments that you cannot outlive. Where have I heard that for? Oh, yeah, old Josh. He said, look, you lock in a deferred annuity now. That way you're locking in the mortality tables. That way you can defer, you can incomize or annuitize that in the future with payments that you cannot live based on your life expectancy today, not based on the life expectancy later, which is wonderful. You also don't pay taxes on earnings until you take money out. Okay, don't care. How a FRAN may benefit your retirement strategy. It helps keep money protected from market declines because annuities are guaranteed. We are talking about guaranteed annuities here, my friends. Guaranteed, not variable, guaranteed. Allows you the flexibility to add money as much as you want. You got to start with $5,000. Creates a stream of income that you could live that will last as long as you choose. Okay, that's great. So we're start building, grow, and protect living retirement. So let's see. All right, now here's what we're talking about here. If you put in $10,000, you're going to get 2%. If you put in less than $10,000, you get 1.5. If you put in $1 million or more, you get 3%. All right, we're going to come back to this in just a second. All right, so this is important to understand. What about fees? There are no monthly maintenance fees. You have to pay IRS penalties on annuity. It has anything to do with USAA if you take it out before you're 59.5. After the first year, you can withdraw up to 10%. And then if you withdraw more than 10%, you will get a surrender charge. All right. Highly rated USA annuities. USA is very highly rated for from the credit rating agencies. That's good. They talk about some myth and facts about annuities. Don't care about all that. All right. So let's take a look here. We're going to click on how your annuity can grow. This is pretty sweet. All right. So what we're going to do, my friends, we're going to say, we're going to keep this annuity for 30 years. All right. So we're going to keep, so I'm, I don't know, 45 now, and we're going to keep it till I'm 65, or 35 now, keep it till I'm 65. I'm 65 now. I'm going to keep it till I'm not, whatever you want to do, or just for simplicity. I just want to show you how this can work. I'm going to start with $10,000, dump it in there, and you don't have to keep it. You can do whatever you want. I just want to show you how this works. Actually, let's just do it for 25. So I'm 45 now. I'm going to keep it till I'm 65 years old. That'd be better. All right. All right. So we're going to keep it for 20 years. And every year I plan on adding $5,000 a year. All right. So far, so good. All right. So let's hit enter. So what's happening here is they do pay a 3% bonus on the rate, which is nice. I mean, that's great. We'll take it. We're not going to not take it, but that's not the premise of this or why you should buy it. And again, this isn't why you should buy anything. This is the concept. But you're not buying it for the freaking upfront bonus rate. You shouldn't. There's a reason they give you that upfront bonus rate, because they need you to be attracted to it. If it's such a great product found off the shelf, you would not need to be attracted to it an upfront bonus rate. That's a fact. And the reason you need to be attracted to it, because annuities are said, I don't want annuities. So take advantage of people's ignorance and take advantage of a 3% upfront bonus rate. But anyway, so we're going to start with $10,000. We're putting $5,000 a year for 20 years. So we're going to have a guaranteed minimum of $124,000 in this account. 120, we'll just say 125, a guaranteed minimum of 125. Right. So what happens here? We've locked in our mortality table, again, as a 45-year-old man. We're going to fast forward until we're 20 years from now, which if we want to annuitize it, we could annuitize $124,000 based on our mortality table as a 45-year-old man, which would be pay me a lot more in terms of monthly income stream, most likely than if I were to annuitize a brand spanking new $124,000 as a 65-year-old man. If that doesn't make sense, I literally just did a video on this yesterday. All right. But that's not the important thing. I want to go back. I want to go back to what the interest rates were. Okay, so let's see if I can find where the rates were. Let's see, 3% bonus. Does it give me the interest rates? Okay, close. Hold on just a second. How do I go back? All right, so let's just go back, see if it takes me back to the interest rates. All right, so remember, now we got $125,000 in there. Remember, we started here with $10,000. We had we were getting 2% because we only had 10,000. But now we get 125,000, so we're getting 3%. All right, you with me so far? Now, there's some other mechanisms that go into this. Again, I do not represent USA. You'll have to do your research on this or any other annuity companies that you go. But just remember, once you break $100,000 in this case, the interest rate is increasing. According to today, that could change. So let me ask you a question. What happens if you dropped another $100,000 in there? What would that $100,000 that you're adding to it pay you? So if 20 years have gone by, or 8 years have gone by, it doesn't matter. But now I'm going to say, here's another $100,000 at USA. I want to drop in my flexible retirement annuity. What would happen to that interest rate? Any idea? It would pay you 3%. All right, because that's what a rate is paying when you hit this threshold of $100,000 to $500,000, 3%. All right, so you know you're getting 3%. How long do you get that rate for? Well, it could change. All right, it could change. They say it could change daily. Does it? Not really. I guess maybe a month out. It could. I mean, I don't know. But what do they do with that money that they receive from you? Well, they go out in the market and they buy intermediate and longer term bonds. So they're buying 7 to 8 to 15-year bonds that are highly rated corporate bonds and government bonds. That's what they're doing. So the likelihood of these interest rates changing vastly on any given day or month is not high. It could have. I mean, literally, I just don't know. But it's not very likely to happen because they're backing that $100,000 that you just sent to USA with intermediate and longer term bonds. All right. So not likely to change. It could, but it's not likely to. All right. So every year, though, or every time that new rates go in, these rates change all the time for new money going in. So if rates go up, they say the rates on new money that USA is accepting will go up as well, which means if I dump $100,000 in there today, I get 3%. After 2 years, the regular interest rates across the board are now 3.5%. My $100,000 is probably still paying 3% simply because there's backed by longer term bonds that those rates haven't changed. But the new money I'm dropping in there will change. That could be paying 3.5% there too. So my old money is 3, but my new money is 3.5. Just use that for example. What happens if I want to take the money out? What happens? Well, beyond 7 years, I'm not subject to any surrender charge, right? So if I'm not subject to any surrender charge and I have access to the money, what does that mean? That means it's completely liquid. I have unencumbered access to this money at my discretion. Yet I'm getting an interest rate that is not like a completely liquid account. So let me give you an example. I'm looking at the 10-year Treasury bond right now. 10-year Treasury is paying 3.193. Oh, how ironic. That's similar to this right here. Why is that? Because these are intermediate term annuities, essentially, 7-year surrender charge. So they are paying essentially the lower rate of a 10-year Treasury, but still within spitting distance of the rate of the 10-year Treasury. Could that change? Yep. Has it changed? I don't know. I don't know these things. But the answer is most likely, according to today's numbers and my experience with these kind of annuities, that they pay the interest rate of an intermediate term government bond. And so you could say a 7-year Treasury. You could say a 10-year Treasury. That's what they're paying roughly right now. Now, again, not dollar for dollar, not yet rate for rate, but close enough to say, it's probably going to pay right around an intermediate term government bond interest rate. So if I were to buy the same 10-year Treasury bond, I'd get 3.19 as of today. How long do I have to lock up my money for? 10 years. 10 years. If I were to drop $100,000 into that 10-year Treasury bond, how much am I getting? 3.19%. That's $3,190 a year in interest. How long before I can have just unencumbered access to it without the risk of loss? 10 years, because the bond is fixed for 10 years. So I drop $100,000 in this frame that I've already had for over 7 years. I'm getting 3% now. That's $3,000 a year in interest, all right? Before I was getting $3,000, which is a $200 in the 10-year Treasury. 10-year treasury, though, to get unencumbered access to the principal, I needed to, and without risk of loss, I needed to hold it to maturity. The Fran, I'm getting $3,000 a year as opposed to $3,200, but I'm getting $3,000 a year. How long before I have unencumbered access to it without the risk of loss? Today. Because once the surrender charge is behind you, you have unencumbered access to the entirety of the account without risk of loss. Now, there is a drawback, is that it is going to be taxable if you take the money out of the annuity. So an annuity works just like an IRA. All right. What I mean by that is money that is taken out is taxable as ordinary income. All right. That's a fact. An annuity is LIFO, which means last in, first out. So the money that you pull out, you can't specifically identify your principal. You can only say, give me my money out, and they're going to give you interest out that comes first, which is taxable. So if this is a non-IRA account and you dropped $100,000 in there and later on it's worth $120,000 and you want a $20,000 distribution, that entirety of that $20,000 will be taxable as ordinary income because that's your interest. So we're going to put a mechanism how to use this. We're optimizing your retirement portfolio down here and on the whiteboard in just a second. But this is the beauty of a flexible retirement annuity, because once you have gone beyond the surrender charge, in this case 7 years, you essentially have a 7-year intermediate government bond that is guaranteed in this case by the issuer of USAA. So USA is not is a private company. It's not a public company. It's not, publicly traded, but it's not a government entity. So USA could go bankrupt. That's a fact. So you got to take that risk. It's not a government bond, but it is guaranteed on every single dollar you have in there by USAA, which is another reason you want to get a strong company. But you also have access to it, unlike a 7 to 10 year bond. You have access to it today, which you don't have in a government bond. But yet you're getting the same yield as an intermediate government bond. How can we use that? And we're going to show you. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how you can use that to optimize your retirement portfolio as we go to the whiteboard. So stay tuned, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.